Hello everybody, NGS here, and welcome back to Frieren Season 2, Episode 5. Today, I believe, yeah, Episode 5. So we are, well, halfway through after today's episode. I wonder what they're gonna squeeze in just 10 episodes, you know? I really wonder. Because so far, we've spent time on well, I don't want to say inconsequential things because we spent time establishing some themes, right? Mostly themes of going on an adventure and doing adventure stuff is not something you only do for yourself, it's not something you only do for the main quest, the main story, but also by going on an adventure and helping people around, that can have very interesting and very good repercussions, right? If you were to just go with the goal of defeating the Demon King and you would take a boat all the way there, sure, you could do that. And you might have been able to even defeat that Demon King if you were strong enough, yeah. But all the people along the way, all the stories of a lesser demon terrorizing villages, of what else was there? Another demon. No, that wasn't a demon. That was a monster, but like one step removed from a demon. Of a monster terrorizing some area, right? All that stuff would just be left. So pushing for the progression of the main quest gives you the big result, the big benefit, right? But the side quests, they also matter a lot. And doing fast travel everywhere might not be a great idea because you're gonna miss all the exclamation marks along the way. And all those little exclamation marks, you don't know how much it's going to impact anybody else's life, right? It might be a quest that starts with bring me 5 red mushrooms, and along the way you end up killing God, right? We all know quests like that. So I think that's what those episodes so far try to establish. And they also try to establish how the group, right? Fern, Frieren, and Stark, how they are growing closer together and more more like a family, more like a unit, right? Stark is now a little bit more of a part of this group. He's no longer that little bit of an outsider. That's my read on it. Fern will be a little bit more lenient on him now, especially after the previous episode. Right? We all got all that stuff established, and I wonder if for the remainder of the season, probably not. I don't think that we're going to be establishing themes like that for the remainder of the season to then end with one big movie that's a boss fight. I don't think they're gonna do something like that. I think that either in today's episode or in the next episode at the latest, we are probably going to enter some multi-parter arc, right? Like in Graf Granat's domain, that was a multi-parter that will lead us to defeat some big bad. My suspicion is still that it's gonna be the one last remaining. Uh, what are they called? I call them demon generals because that's effectively what they are. So yeah, we're gonna end up defeating one last demon general. Either in today's episode we're gonna start progressing towards that, maybe in the latter half, or in the next episode at the latest. So I wonder what are we gonna see. What happened in the previous episode exactly though? Uh, Ferdinand Stark went on a date, and that was basically the gist of it. They went on a date. It wasn't the best date because Stark wanted Fern to have a great time, and because of that, he basically went with what Frieren told him, right? Fern likes this, likes this, likes this, likes this, and he went on checking off those positions on a list, essentially. Meanwhile, Fern was hoping for something, uniquely his, right? I don't think she would have minded if during their date they would have gone to a weapons shop, right? I don't think she would have minded at all if Stark was like, you know what, you have your magic and all that, but I'm gonna buy you a dagger. That's a cool dagger. It's sharp. I know a little bit about weapons. It's gonna serve you well, right? Like you can peel apples with it, but push comes to shove, you can stab a motherfucker, right? I don't think she would have minded if they went for something like that. But Stark wanted to impress her so much that he basically overcompensated to the point where it wasn't uniquely his, when it wasn't true in a way. But in the end, they did share that real moment that was uniquely theirs, right? Sitting on a bench, looking at the sky, talking about various stuff, talking about the clouds they see, right? That one little bit made the whole date worth it, because we've seen that Fern was then walking with her like penguin style, right? Palms to the sides, and she also gave Frieren happy braids. So, so that's another indicator of her mood. Uh, and then in the second half, we went to a little, not even a village, not even a hamlet, just a single house that houses like maybe two families or like one family, but starting from the grandparents and a couple of people with some kids. And they're not gonna move out of there, they said, because well, that's what we have. That's, we are tied to it. It's tradition. It's where we all began. Yada 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 yada. Essentially endangering their lives for something completely ephemeral, which, as I already established, I would personally not be a fan of. But I understand the characters in the context of characters. I understand why people might want to do that. But they were being harassed by a monster that would be destroying all food caravans and other visitors, and they needed the monster defeated. And since we're already going that way, might as well get some free XP, maybe some good loot. And so they went and defeated the monster. It was not the easiest fight, wasn't the hardest, but the monster was very agile, so Fern had trouble aiming and shooting at it because it was constantly moving. Stark wasn't having the easiest time either, because the monster was matching his not his full strength, but the current amount of strength that he was using, basically. Because I really think that Stark is generally holding back, and if he really wanted to, he would just twist the head of that monster clean off. But he's very unsure in his own ability, so he tends to underuse it. That's my read on it, at least. And in the end, Stark held the monster in place. Frieren summoned a giant fucking Zolthrak beam and was counting on Fern to protect Stark in the last moment, and she did. She did protect him with a shield. He survived, and on they go further after Stark gets his bearing because his legs gave out. So that's basically the summary of the previous. You probably observed a cut, and that's because I forgot to switch the audio output to the mic so I can get feedback and everything, and the opening started playing on my speakers. And I stopped the recording because I really don't want YouTube to copy strike me for the opening music and for the rest of the audio being heard on my mic. So let's do it again. Frieren, Season 2, Episode 5. You're gonna need your subs, they're already there. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on, and I'm gonna need your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube, down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 5 of Frieren Season 2 in 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Yeah, we're good. We are good. If you want to get the episode, if you want to watch it in picture-in-picture mode with the episode here in the corner, you can get that version on the Patreon if you want. And if you want to be notified of when those picture-in-picture versions come out, because sometimes it takes a little bit longer to upload them because I have to edit them, and Patreon's uploader is a major piece of shit. You can join the Patreon. Yeah, of course. You can join the Discord here, also linked in the description. I always notify, a bot notifies about new videos, and I manually notify about new Patreon posts. Although Patreon has a new post hook, if I'm not mistaken, nowadays, so I might try to use it and whip up a bot or something to automatically post new posts. Though Patreon's API has been a major pain in the ass. I need to use it for another project, and it's not been an easy time. Beer region. The region of beer. Interesting. Apparently. That's why beer region. Makes sense. Boshaft and Fass. Okay, so essentially ambrosia for all intents and purposes. Or Ervelus, if we want to go a little more down to earth. You don't want to stay a long time in a city? Is it really you? Who's that Moomin troll character? Is he a dwarf? Yeah. She got some new gacha pools. Okay, we have our quest for the episode. We are raiding some ancient tombs for some ancient booze. That seems very... Oh, I was about to ask that it looks very conspicuous for an entrance to some, secret passage. A city dwarf. That's interesting. That's some dedication. Of course he would want to go and find it. And the entrance is unknown, I assume. I was about to ask if we've met any elves so far. uh, we've met plenty. Mm-hmm. Same way, if you want to be a programmer, you gotta learn English. There's no way around it. I'm gonna assume she knew Miliarde personally. But no way to enter them. Mm. Yeah. Oh? You have nothing if not time. Oh? That ear wiggle? Yeah, not interested. She was hoping for a grimoire. Okay, maybe tell us how long exactly it would take. Because if it's a week, then like we can hang around for a week. If it's 5 years, then yeah, we're gonna bail. But if it's like a week or a couple of weeks, then uh... 3 months is still fairly reasonable, I'd say. They'll get to skip winter, basically. We're gonna stick around for the winter and they're gonna move out in spring. So I'd say perfect. Hmm. Oh, so it wasn't winter. I mean, they're doing harvest, so it's autumn, September-ish. Hmm. One specific guy liked it really much, and that's basically it. Who that? That's a new elf. Oh, that's Miliarde. Is that... Is that Saori Hayami? Not quite, I don't think. But instantly reminds me of Saori Hayami. Hanami. Hayam. I don't remember, I'm sorry. Okay, so even she hated that. Oh, so she just wrote it on the wall for shits and giggles. Yeah. Just random fucking graffiti on a wall. She was passing time, and now someone made it their life's goal to follow that. Okay, so it's easier to dispel it from within. That's a lot of boss haft. Is he gonna like it? Hiding the tear behind his glasses. Okay, she wanted the old guy to just continue the journey and not be disappointed with what he found. Hmm. Yeah, he should be old enough. How many people would be able to tell that they tried Boss Haft? Feren's not gonna try it? Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, it's a curiosity, right? It's like surströmming or the rotten shark they make also somewhere in Scandinavia, Iceland, I think. Or like mealworms that I bought once as curiosity, and they didn't taste bad, but it was like eating, I don't know, dried out plastic shells. Ooh, oof. That's not bread. That's hardtack. Are they running out of food and resources? Well, you have something boiling in a pot. Another town? I really like those little scenes of them just walking, you know? I really like just seeing the vistas, the views. Poland mentioned. White and red? Damn. Hmm. Okay, so it's basically the capital. Or something is stopping shipments. Maybe a big wave of monsters or something that we're gonna have to defeat. Maybe that one remaining demon general set up shop somewhere and we're gonna have to defeat him. The others stay though. Hmm? Someone recognizes her? Does she have a history in this town? Oh, wanted. Who's she wanted by? Of course, it's a trading company. They don't forget. How much is a little? And now there's also interest. She's gonna give away all the money they have. Fucking hell, Frieren. Oh. uh... Can't we, like, defeat a couple of monsters and pay off the debt that way? Or get some fire bull horns and sell them. They should have plenty of ways to earn money. Yeah. Okay, how much is the debt? That's a lot. Maybe. Fern, do you know any immortality spells? We're gonna need them. They're friendly, aren't they? Right, you can make their job much easier. Just blast the rocks. No need to use your pickaxes. Hmm? I love the music, by the way. Oh, is she using, like, ore detection? What's she doing? All that pizzazz. And not even an explosion. All that fucking visual beauty. And it was just a beam of light. Pointing at some ore, probably. And I'm gonna assume he helped them. Yep. He looks familiar somehow. From some other anime. Is he trying to make, like, an underground tunnel? Maybe? Yeah, it's not a great position to be in. Certainly. An underground transportation network would certainly help. Okay, so yeah, they basically want to move from just moving merchandise around to actually producing something. And they need her skills. Yep. It could have been open from the get go, you know. Now that's a worthy cause. And she's free. And she has bread. Soft bread. I mean, they can't exactly stick around for 300 years, can they? There we go. So it seems like this episode will not be the one where we're gonna start the like big multi-parter finishing arc. If it's gonna start in episode 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're still gonna have plenty of time. Even if episode 6 is still not that, then 4 episodes to defeat the Demon General, I say that's plenty. Every time I watch the opening, and every time I watch the ending, I'm getting the impression that they've changed. But I don't think they have. Oh, a demon slaying request for Fern. We might actually be starting the Demon General arc. If we're gonna get the Demon General arc, of course, because, well, that's just my assumption. Let's watch this episode again, shall we? Let me get rid of the cable. And there we go. Much better. Oh, here's my mouse. Alrighty then. That's the opening. The Beer region located in the northern plateau, and this is 3 spikes of Barky, 3 spikes of something. Some salad, lettuce with radish, soft bread, and some sort of meat. Nothing excessive. Only grain producing region on the northern plateau. I wonder why. I wonder why this specific region would be the only one. Is it because it's still fairly safeguarded against demons and monsters, and so they can have sprawling fields? Meanwhile, the further north you go, um, the more protected the cities have to be, right? The tighter, the more walls, and they can't exactly have fields and pastures out there because people are gonna be dying, right? I think that might be it. It's like the last still developed and still somewhat safe region of the northern plateau. Old Man Fass found Boshaft. Most of the continent was ruled by a single great empire, and the emperor was given this exquisite liquor. He would lament about how, because of Miss Frieren, he never got to drink it, even after she told him that it's pretty fucking terrible. Don't want to stay here for long, probably because she didn't want to run into Fass. Fass is very, very short. He's the shortest dwarf we've seen so far, I think. I really like the fact, though, that he doesn't look like a dwarf. Like a dwarf from this universe, or rather, like any dwarf we've seen so far. And later he says that he was raised in a city, he didn't even know how to mine, and it makes sense, right? He's dressing like the city folk, basically. A hat, a coat, regular clothes. He's not wearing armor. He he grew up in the city. There was no reason to wear armor in the city, right? Okay. I've located Boshaft, the Emperor's spirits. Right, I was wondering why he said here. I see I was too late. I thought that maybe he wanted to say goodbye to the old team or see them one last time or something like that. But I'm guessing he really wanted to discover Boshaft and drink it with Hyder, or send him over a jug so that Hyder can taste it because he really wanted to. It's in here, dug it all by myself. Yeah, most people think old dwarves are miners, but I grew up in the city and had to learn mining from scratch. Spent 200 years looking for Boshaft. Hmm. There's Boshaft stored in the ruins underground here. And here's the writing. Just for the lulz, right? Like, no big, huge reason to do that. She just did it just because, right? It proclaims that Boshaft is the greatest liquor to have ever existed, and she just wanted to troll someone, right? Like burying a random thing in a time capsule, hoping that future archaeologists are gonna find it and are gonna start wondering what the fuck is that? What's that doing there? Were they really worshipping a cube? Or you know what I'm talking about. Most grimoires are written in ancient Elvish. Yeah, uh, one of the first things, the very first thing actually, when I was still working as a teacher and I was teaching programming and um, what was it called exactly? It was English, but like oriented towards the job of a programmer, so all the technical terms and stuff like that. One of the first things, if not the first thing, during the first English class, I would always say is that if you want to be a programmer, you gotta know English. All the documentation is in English. 99% of tutorials out there are in English. Programming languages use English words for keywords and stuff. And it's kind of the same. Magic was done in ancient Elvish, so you gotta know it. Kind of like you have to know Latin if you wanna do, I don't know, science. Not all science, but like biology, all the taxonomies in Latin, a good chunk of, well, not chemistry, mostly biology is in Latin. Something else? Only biology comes to mind, really. But yeah, basically, there are languages that are a must sometimes. The ruins themselves, powerful barrier. I'm gonna assume that Milliard, or whatever her name is, also decided to raise that barrier just for shits and giggles. You know, haha, I'm gonna make them think that it's such a great liquor. I'm gonna protect it with layers and layers. That's gonna be an epic troll of century. Is plural, probably. Yeah, I mean, he's paying money. Come on. Yeah, we stick around for 3 months. I initially thought that it's gonna be a good thing because they're gonna get to skip winter because they are wearing winter gear, but I completely forgot that we are in the northern plateau, which is like generally cold, and that's why they're wearing winter gear. And seeing how now it's autumn and they're doing harvest, it means that after they were done with Bosshaft, winter is coming. So they're gonna have to either hole up somewhere for the winter, because I really wouldn't want to be traveling through the northern plateau in winter, or they're gonna have to travel in winter, in which case very bad idea. It really didn't end well when they traveled through winter last time, right? Through the mountains. Like, sure, okay, they met Kraft. That was nice. But they met plenty of obstacles on their way. Yeah, Bosshav just doesn't taste good. Some elves pass the time in ways you wouldn't believe. Oh, for sure. Like, I know. Absolutely. If I had infinite lifespan or close to infinite lifespan, I would, I don't know, make something weird, leave it buried for 300 years, and then dig it up and show it to archaeologists and say, hey, I found this weird thing. What do you think it is? And they would all be scratching their heads. It would be all over the Galactinet or whatever we have by that time. I mean, fun time to pass time, fun thing, fun idea to pass the time. I need to know who her voice actress is. Is it gonna be on any list? Hopefully, she's gonna be listed. If not, I'm gonna check Mal. Characters, come on. Miliarde. No, Mami Konoto. Mami Konoto, who also voiced... I don't really recognize any of those characters here. Elsa from ReZero. Oh, Pepesha from Shy. That's a name I recognize. Yep, more Pepesha. Who else do we have here? Prospera Mercury. From which from Mercury? Huh. I wouldn't tell. Honestly. I wouldn't be able to tell that she voiced Prospera. UMP9 from Girls Frontline. And some other characters. I don't necessarily want to spend too much time on it. And traditionally, of course, she voiced Pipimi from Pop the Pipik. But who hasn't voiced Pipimi? Oh. Why can you see my browser? You should not be able to see that. I'm gonna put like a sensor bar on it or something. We'll see. No, it wasn't anything bad, but I don't wanna show my Reddit front page. Regardless, I really thought that she's Saori Hayami, but no. A different character altogether. Man, today's recording is just a mess. First, I forget to switch the audio output. Now, somehow my browser pops up on the screen despite me not selecting browser source. What the fuck is going on? Many elves spend their lives searching for something. Meanwhile, she was just not really doing much. You never do anything, you just gaze into space. Many of our fellow elves spend their long lives searching for something. Why do you think that is? So that they don't end up like me. I'm not 100%. Oh! Okay, I get it, especially with this sentence. Miliarde was also looking for something. And the thing she was looking for turned out to be worthless? Yeah, my distant past. Okay, I get it. I get it now. She was also looking for something equal to Bosshaft, and she found it, and it was just worthless, just bullshit. And now she wanted someone to share the same pain. I wonder what it is that Miliarde was looking for. I'm just gonna note down a question. What was Miliarde looking for? Awful cheap liquor. For coming to this village, I carved an inscription. Says Bosshaft is the greatest liquor to have ever existed. Why? Because she was probably also following some sort of a trail like that, right? She found some inscription that was the equivalent of Bosshaft is the greatest liquor to have ever existed. She spent hundreds of years looking for Bosshaft, her Bosshaft, only for it to turn out terrible. And her reaction to that is just sitting on a rock, staring out into the space, bordering on catatonia, which is probably why Frieren was so apprehensive, telling about how terrible Bosshaft is to either Faz or Heiter. Because she knew how Miliarde reacted to it, and she didn't want a repeat. But both Heiter and, well, we don't know how Faz would have, how Heiter would have reacted, but he told her that if it turned out to be terrible, he would just laugh it off. So I guess we can take it at face value. We know how Faz reacted, and they reacted completely opposite to what she expected, because her frame of reference was elves. And that shows us the difference between elves and the rest of... I don't know. I don't know exactly. Yeah, it's terrible. What would you do if the liquor you spent your life searching for turned out to be terrible? I'd laugh it off. It tastes bad and it's best enjoyed with friends. Yep. There's plenty to go around. And how many people would be able to claim that they tasted Bosshaft? Even if it's fucking atrocious, how many people would be able to claim that? Right? Like, people eat all sorts of weird shit out there and claim that it's a delicacy only because it's so rare, right? In China, a bird's nest can reach enormous prices on the market because they are so rare, because it's swallows that make nests with their own spit, and people collect those nests and sell them, and in China they make like soup out of it, or they liquefy it and they drink it, bird spit, but it's rare. So it's expensive, and so people claim it's a delicacy. Like, that's basically what it is. Do we have any examples? Fucking kasumarzu, or however you pronounce it. The cheese with maggots. Whose fucking idea would it be to eat cheese with living maggots? And yet people do, and people claim it's a delicacy because it's so fucking rare and so fucking bizarre. No other reason. Like, I genuinely do not believe that Kasumarzu is good. At least it's not better than fucking Roquefort or Gorgonzola or any of the moldy cheeses. And it has maggots in it. But it's great because it's rare, like fucking Kopi Luwak, or you could multiply the examples here. Although, granted, I would taste Kopi Luwak. If someone offered me a nice espresso shot of Kopi Luwak, out of pure curiosity, I would taste it. I would never try Kasumarzu though. Like, living maggots is where I put the line. My search ended in a disappointment, but I've never had such a fun night. Yeah, things are better when you do them with friends. That's the first lesson we can get here. And I think another lesson we can get from this half of an episode is what do you call it? It's good to get closure, even if that closure is perhaps not what you were hoping for. Even if that closure is disappointing, it's better to have that closure and laugh it off than to continue an obsession. I think, at least. 30 years after the death of Himmel the Hero. Episode started with 29 years. This is 30 years, so I'm gonna assume we spent the New Year's at that village. Or are we counting like from the moment of death, in which case I don't remember when it happened, but probably in fall. Norm Company territory located on the northern plateau. Eating dry bread, essentially hardtack. Although, again, they do have something boiling in the pot. I don't think that's tea or coffee. I think that's some sort of a soup. Like, you could dunk your hardtack in the soup and eat it like that, but we'll be eating mostly this while we camp at the very least. I really like the scenes of just walking and the beautiful forests and mountain ranges. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. And here we are, a fortress city with Polish flags on it. That's not a terribly huge city, just a couple of houses really. Although they look like townhouses, so they probably can house like a couple of families each, so maybe it's not that small of a town. They deal in various goods, primarily wheat from the beer region. Armed trading company with logistics network and military force. They send supplies, and now we know why the supplies have stopped. Because the company just lost a good chunk of its force. Goods aren't circulating, yeah, because as we learn in the mines, they are in no shape to be circulating those goods. First class mage, and she's wanted. And fucking why do I forget the dwarf's name? Heider Himmel Eisen. Eisen is also wanted, and in the bottom left, that's the guy that was in the underground pub where Frieren was asking for sweet shops in town, right? That's him. That's absolutely him. I guess he's also wanted, and some other faces that I don't necessarily recognize. Although I think the guy in like here is also one of the people she saw there. Yeah, Frieren has debt. Because of course. Owed for 80 years. The debt might have been little, but the compound interest and whatnot. 3 Stral gold, 20 Reich gold, and various silvers and coppers. Not quite enough. I love this little bit. Cats not immediately. That's the thing. It cuts through a little bit of black screen, right? Black, and it pops up. Frieren in wearing a tunic, already with a pickaxe on her arm. My journey ends here. I need to stay in minus for 300 years. I love it. And they just drag her off. I love when Frieren does this face. Nothing you can do about it. Do you think you can procure such a sum? You'd think that a first-class mage would be able to procure such a sum, right? Like, Frieren was 5 hundos in debt, right? She paid those 20 they got from Fas, and it was different gold coins, so it wiped like 200 this other gold from the debt. So they would effectively need to make like 2 other jobs like that, like the one that Fast gave them, and they would be able to pay it off. They could grab some magic crystals. They fetch a hefty sum, and we know where they are. We know a whole entire fucking cave full of them. There absolutely would be ways in which they would be able to make that money. Not quickly, right? It would take months, maybe a year, but that's better than 300 years. President told us about you, Miss Frieren, and yeah, about your magic. I really thought that she's just going to basically instantly appear a mine shaft or something because of how grandiose and powerful this magic seems. Right? Like the light goes out and she's floating, her hair does the thing, and then little sprites. It's a compound spell. It's doing multiple different things. It creates a whole galaxy here, and people stand suspended in the infinity of the cosmos. And it's just a beam that points at silver ore. uh, it's just a beam that points at silver ore. God damn it. Started out as a backwater noble, cast out to the northern plateau. He invested in this region, built a logistic network, bringing stability. And yeah, he helped them with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 golden coins. Logistics are in a terrible state, yeah. We are a trading company. As long as we have the funds, we can always rebuild. And what's the easiest way to procure funds? Precious metals, right? Everybody wants precious metals. That's why they're called precious metals. So if they can strike, yeah, if they can strike silver ore here, they're gonna be able to, first of all, transform the city a little. It would no longer just be a trading hub, it would also be a mining town, and they would get much, much richer, possibly, than from trade alone. And if that silver vein is large enough, they would essentially never again run out of funds, which would allow them to invest more aggressively without the fear of losing that money. Right? Like having having a vein of precious metal for a trading company, that's a great deal. That's a great thing to have. Please save the people of the Northern Plateau. And again, we're kind of keeping it with the theme of maybe like not unforeseen consequences, but secondary results, secondary consequences of things. Like first, right? First we had the quest for the sword, and they ended up defeating a demon. Then they had the quest to destroy the monster, and that would perhaps return adventurers to the area. Now, finding some silver ore, which would have wider reaching results, wider reaching repercussions for the whole entire region. Little actions, little just cast find silver spell can like reshape the entire region essentially. I wonder if we're going to keep with this team. Yeah, we got silver, and just completely casually, nonchalantly, what the fuck are you doing here? Let's go. From now on, we'll get to eat soft bread. I'm gonna assume that's because shipments will resume, and even the cities further north would be able to get access to soft bread, or rather to grain that they can use to make soft bread. Also, going back to the mines for a moment, I thought for a moment that his plan was to dig those mines not just for silver, but also to create like an underground network. There are demons and monsters up there, but if we dig a big, long, straight line between cities, we can use it to safely move, right? It's not Minecraft. Monsters don't just spawn in the dark. So once the tunnels are sealed and the only entrances are in behind some thick city walls, it would be the safest way to transport goods. But the cities are probably far apart enough that it's not feasible. I will help you bury them. I was worried to death. Demons destroyed the village. There are so few of them. A demon slaying request for Miss Fern. I have a feeling it might be the last demon general. We'll see though. We'll see. Okay, there we go. So, that was episode 5 of Frieren, season 2. Very scuffed recording. First the audio, then I'm pretty sure looking in the camera I could see my mom behind me, probably going after our cat because our cat needs to take medicine and she likes hiding in my room. So she probably came here for the cat. So if you saw her in the background, yeah, that's what it was. Then the whole thing with the browser, that's a cursed recording. Friday the 13th was yesterday. It's 14th already, so not quite Friday the 13th curse, I'm afraid. But okay, regardless. This was a fun episode. It was very much in the same vein that previous episodes were, where we do things mostly loose, mostly separated, mostly every half of each episode is a self-contained story. We don't enter any arcs quite yet, but both of the adventures we had were fun in their own way. It was nice to see some city dwarves. It was nice to get some lore of yore, to see another elf, right? There aren't many of them, but there are some. I wonder if Miliarde is still alive. If she didn't die by unnatural causes, I'd say that she still should be alive. So probably, maybe we're even gonna meet her. We'll see about that. And the second half was also fun, with Frieren pulling all sorts of faces. That was incredibly funny, and we're slowly fixing the northern plateau as we travel. I get that feeling. There was a big bad demon, we defeated big bad demon. There was a big bad monster, we defeated big bad monster. There's issues with shipments, we basically fixed the issues with shipments. Our team going through the northern plateau is doing so much good, and I think to a degree, those episodes, those chapters in the manga, I assume, might be a direct refutal to anybody who said it's illogical that they didn't take the boat, they should have taken the boat. They should have just gone straight to Ende on a boat. They could get the money from the crystals and just got on a boat, and that would be it. They should have gone with Wirbel, and they would be there much faster. Those episodes are a direct refutal to that. Because if they went by boat, they would not have defeated the demon. They would not have saved all those villages. They would not have defeated the monster, thus saving that family and bringing adventurers and commerce back into the region. They would not stop by here to help uncover the silver vein, to save logistics in the northern plateau. Next episode we know is demon slaying. If they didn't travel through here, Fern would not get a demon slaying request. The demon would not be slain, right? It's a direct refutal of the crowd that said, let's just get on the boat. Why don't they get on the boat? That's why. That's why. Both from a story standpoint, there's much more to tell if they don't take a boat. If they take a boat, then it's basically in one chapter they get on the boat, in the next chapter they get off the boat, assuming no pirates attack them, they don't shipwreck, right? But this gives us much more story, so from that perspective alone it's good. And also from the perspective of what kind of a person Frieren is, what kind of people our main characters are in general. They want to help. They would not be able to help so many people by taking a boat. They're going through this thorny path and helping people along. Yeah, I think those episodes mostly serve that purpose of directly refuting the boat demand. And now we should be getting into the meat and potatoes, right? The big bad of the season, something along those lines, I feel. Yeah, I enjoyed myself despite how scuffed this recording was. But you guys, you tell me, did you enjoy this episode? Did you enjoy my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? If so, say so in the comments down below. No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos. Support me on YouTube memberships on Patreon if you'd like. Patreon is down below as well, and also here. And for $5 a month you get access to picture-in-picture videos of Frieren that you can watch without having to time your own copy of the video. And if you don't want to spend any money at all, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word. It costs absolutely nothing to do so, and it helps the channel a lot. And now with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my outro. Here's my supporters. Another fucking scuff. Here's my beautiful supporters: Epic Toby, QB, Dr. Watt, Akamancer, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without going through what I'm going through today, apparently.